Hi, Reverend Nicole here, and I am the spiritual director of AHA Education, the virtual ministry which shares the teachings of universal spiritual principles and promotes the practice of them in our lives. All this year we will be providing a weekly spiritual message with the intention to have you take a bit of that message and apply it to enrich and enhance your everyday life. Each of our weekly messages will be based upon a monthly theme. And this month's theme is the very foundation from which this philosophy, this spiritual living philosophy, is founded. And so this month's theme is based upon the first 4 chapters of The Science of Mind, written by Ernest Holmes. And I know many of you are familiar with The Science of Mind, and for those who are not, The Science of Mind is a philosophy, a way of life, a science where we can understand how the spiritual nature of the universe works and how we can use it in our lives to look beyond the physical condition and experience and gain a greater glimpse into the truth of not only the universe, but who we truly are. And so this week, I'll be talking about the first chapter of The Science of Mind, which is the very foundation from which all life comes forth. Now, some people call this very foundation God, some call it Buddha, some call it Allah, some call it the universe or the divine nature or spirit. Well, Ernest Holmes calls it the thing itself. And I believe he does that because he knows not what this thing is. In fact, we can never know what this thing is, what God is, what Buddha is, what Allah is, in its totality. And we can never know why this thing, or why God, or why all of the divine nature works. But rather, we know that there is a thing itself that does work all the time. And so the very basis of spiritual living is not discovering what God is, what the thing is, but discovering what it does and how we can use it to remember who we truly are, to remember the divine nature of our being. And it's such an important time to talk about this message. For if you turn on the news or turn on the computer or listen to what people are saying in the coffee shops, you may hear rumblings of awful things that are happening, like killings and massacres and natural disasters and environmental crises and financial breakdown. And if we did not have an understanding or maybe an inner knowing that there is something greater happening here, we may get caught in the evils and the wrongdoings of the world, or the evils and the wrongdoings that are happening right within our own lives. But yet, and I'm guessing that all of you sense that there is something more than just the apparent evil in the world. For not only do we hear of these natural disasters and these awful happenings, but if we look closely and pay attention, we also hear people awakening, people participating in random acts of kindness, people becoming compassionate and reaching out and helping others in whatever way they can. We begin to see that there's something greater happening here in our physical world. Our spiritual nature, we're awakening to that. We're awakening to there's something more, there's something greater. And as we awaken to that, we realize that that is our spiritual nature. That is the truth of who we are. That is the thing itself. I'm guessing that every one of you who watched this video know somewhere within yourselves that you are connected to something larger, something greater, something perhaps divine. You may call yourself a child of God, but there's something within you that knows that there is more than just meets our eye. There is more than just this physical world. And that's what Ernest Holmes calls the thing itself. And we can sense it within ourselves. That's our spiritual life. And I believe that all of these things that are occurring in our lives give us the opportunity to dive deeper into the study of who we truly are beyond our physical realm. And that as we begin to see that there is a power in the universe greater than we are, we can begin to consciously use it in our lives to not only heal ourselves and make our life better, but to participate in changing the world for the better as well.